Purdue season tips off in just under 3 hours. Nothing like beating the buzzer, turning in our homework at the last minute. Dion, this is our last chance to do some season predictions for the Boilermakers. I have some categories here. Let's run through them together and predict how Purdue's season will go. Starting with this, who will end up the best player on Purdue? There is at least one human being on earth who would argue that this is up for debate.
Yeah, I mean, 1A, 1B. I got Braden 1A, I got Omer 1B. Um, Simple as that. But I can't go against my teammate. So Braden is my best player on Purdue.
Yep, it's Braden Smith. I don't have any additional commentary. I'm just going to keep it moving out of respect for my own personal sanctity. The biggest positive surprise from this team will be what?
Can you have surprises from a team that leaks everything about themselves to the media? CJ Cox uses the bathroom and we get like full-length articles about it. So I don't know that I could be surprised by anything positive because we've heard about everything all off season. If I had to pick one, I think Omer's way farther along than he's getting credit for.
Okay, I think that's totally fair and I like your point on all of this. Based on where we are currently at, I'll go biggest surprise, positive Daniel Jacobson, because I think he will end up playing the most minutes at the center spot and starting. And I don't think that's where he's starting the season. He's starting the season off the bench. I think by the end of the year, he's a monster. Biggest negative surprise for this team is what?
Same thing. I don't know how surprising it is based upon everything we've heard. It gotta be like Liam Murphy though, right? Like I feel like there was a little bit more expectations than what we're gonna get out of him.
Yeah, if he's completely out of the rotation, that could be an answer. I think you are going to refuse to do content with me ever again. I think Omer's going to get phased out by the end of the year.
Really? I'll tell you what, Omer, if we get phased out, that transfer portal go crazy, brother. I'm just saying.
Chill. Chill. That's PG1 next year. Okay. Running point with Omer Meyer is still on the table. Moving on. Ken Palm. Offense and defense projection. Purdue, before the season begins, is projected to have the number one offense and the number 28 defense in the sport. Last season, seventh best offense, 53rd best defense. That defense is the question. What do you project?
I think they have the best offense in the country, so I'm going to go one for offense.
Me
I
too.
want to let everybody know this defensive number is going to be higher, not because I think they're this level of good defensive team. I think it's really hard to score the basketball when you're constantly taking the ball out the basket on one end, which Purdue's going to make you do. I'm going to go like 28. That's a random number. I was deciding somewhere between 25, 35. I think they're going to be 28th nationally defensively. Individually, though, I mean this with all due respect. Food, top to bottom, food.
I think it's going to be very similar to last year. I don't think we're going to see the improvement everybody expected just because you brought in a quote unquote elite rebounder that's already being phased out for a freshman that's as skinny as like a straw. I'll say they go from 53 to 41. That is marginal. I don't know if it's national title good. Number one offense, 41 defense is where I am expecting this team to land. Let's talk awards, and there's going to be a lot of them, I think, with this team. At the end of the season, what accolades will anyone from the Purdue basketball program get?
National Player of the Year, Braden Smith. Um, Big Ten Player of the Year, Braden Smith. Is it Bob Cousy? Is that who we've named the point guard award after?
Cousy Award, Braden Smith.
The first ever Steph Curry Point Guard of the Year award, Braden Smith. I will not be acknowledging Bob Cousy.
There we go.
Um, Coach of the Year, Big Ten Coach of the Year, I think is Paint. Um, and national champions.
If Payne's going to win Coach of the Year in the Big Ten, I think he'd have to go like 19-1 or something crazy and have big time separation because he's had years where he doesn't win this award when he should in the past. I think you nailed most of this. You didn't mention TKR at all. Is there an accolade coming from Mr. Kaufman Red?
So this isn't as a slight to TK by any means. I said it early on. If you are as good as I think this team is, and I do believe this team goes 7, 8 deep at like a high level, whether it's Jakari, CJ, Omer, DJ, as I nicknamed him DJ over the weekend, um, coming off the bench. I think those are three legitimately high level basketball players. I do buy into the portion of like our backups can start on a lot of Big Ten teams. If all that's the case, you can't have two first team All Americans again, right? Somebody's production has to be limited to an extent, and somebody has to do a little bit more dirty work to uplift everybody else. And like somebody's gonna have to pass up that midi to kick it to CJ for a three. And I unfortunately think it's gonna be TK. I think it's gonna be his best season ever. But counting stats wise, I don't think he'll have the same impact.
I think with the center stuff, it's a little clunky. I'm going to put TKR on the third team All American team and still a first team All Big Ten guy. I think Purdue will be that good. They get two. But I don't think there's a world coming where they're both first team All Americans. TKR doesn't look anywhere close to a top five player in the country right now to me. Top 15, I think he can get there. But man, even like, I know this is an Illinois video, but like David Mirkovich is like putting up 19, 14, and 4 right now. Those would be great numbers for Kaufman Wren, who's going to average like 20 and 6. Like, there's a lot of really good players in the country this year that are going to be deserving numbers wise. I think that could get in the way of this, but give me third team, all Big Ten. Moving on to the standings. Normally, this takes a lot of debate. I don't think this one will. Although, I've made the point a couple times, Dion. Illinois and Michigan look a lot better than expected
Yes.
early in the season. So I would have said it's a runaway Purdue win coming into the year. I don't know that I feel that way now that we sit here the day of the first game. Where will Purdue finish in the standings in the Big Ten?
I don't think they run away with it, but I do think they win the Big Ten regular season. I think they get bounced early in the conference tournament, though. Like early.
Really? Like total upset?
I think they lose in like the quarters. I think we talk about Paint throwing games. I'm not saying he threw an exhibition. I do think Paint's going to throw one of them Big Ten tournament games and say, hey, I want a little extra rest for March.
I could see that. I want to make one thing extremely clear. Purdue doesn't go to the State Farm Center in Champaign. Purdue doesn't go to the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor or Mackey West, as they call it, East, Mackey East. Purdue doesn't go to the Breslin Center in East Lansing. They play Michigan, Michigan State, and Illinois once each, all in Mackey Arena. This could be closer than it looks. It won't be because of schedule. Purdue's going to win this league because they don't have to go to those places. Even if Illinois and Michigan are awesome, good luck beating Purdue once in Mackey Arena. Lastly, where do they finish in March?
Cash my, cash my, cash my ticket, man.
3 units?
3 units. Also, like, if they want to throw us on the floats with them, that'd be pretty sick. I mean, like, we have a podcast with Braden Smith. I feel like we should get to be a part of the parade.
I think we might be able to weasel our way in there. I'll do our best here. I am doing a Carter Elliott bit without even realizing I'm doing it right now. I have 9 different Final Four teams currently. So for that reason, Purdue's in my Final Four. I will say, I have to hand up be an honest accountability guy running this channel, creating the content for it. Pre-exhibition season, they were my national title pick. Post-exhibition season, they are not. I think
Hmm.
there's a few too many defensive concerns that have not been addressed, and I don't love the offensive dynamic. Very top-heavy offense right now. I think they're gonna get there. They're gonna get to Indy. Anything can happen from there, but at this point, they are not my national title pick. I just have them in the Final Four.
They make it all the way to Indy and lose a home game in the Final Four.
That's so true. If they get there, it's probably done. But also,
Yeah,
did you see Koa Pete last night?
sick.
Because
So
I'm
sick.
kind of salivating at Koa versus Trey.
If I was to say this, and Braden, um, if we get all the way to Indy and you lose to Cole Pete at the crib, I want to be on running point the next episode. You and I will have to have a discussion.
Stay tuned for more Purdue coverage all season long.